welcome to Brew Tapcast. I am Tap here for a little bit of a different kind of flesh and blood video. So today we're going to take away a little bit of time from our content production as far as like getting in and playing the game. We're going to talk about the local scene. So I live in Connecticut, and there's a couple places that I like to visit, whether it's digitally or in person, to play Flesh and Blood. And this is just sort of a little bit of a review of those areas. So I kind of got the idea of this video from Flesh and Bones. So Jordan over at Flesh and Bones had this little store tour of one of his local shops that he likes to play at, and I sort of took that, and whether or not I can really do a tour right now remains to be seen. And they're different circumstances, and it's not the greatest thing to do a tour right now with COVID sort of just starting to open back up. But I wanted to talk about the shops because they're really great, and it gives an idea of what people are going to be able to do if they come to Connecticut or they live in Connecticut and they're looking to get into some in-person play of Flesh and Blood. So there's two shops that we're going to talk about, so let's just jump right on over and talk about those shops. All right, so the first is Akiba Underground. So this is in Clinton, Connecticut. It's a great shop. During the pandemic, they had been running this online armory event that was every Friday that you could do. You can come from anywhere in the world. So actually, the way I found out about this shop is, so even though I live about 30 minutes away from this, Kugane. So if you haven't checked out Kugane, go ahead and check him out. He's a fantastic Flesh and Blood player and content creator. Just hit 1,000 XP in his region, so he's going to get in that gold border legendary. So he's actually the one who told me about Akiba Underground and how they're doing these armory events. And so I didn't know about them. I go ahead and I check it out, and I was like, oh, cool! Like, it's in my time region. Like, it's in a good time. Like, I could do this. Like, it's like a Friday night. I could do that. Done with work, all that kind of stuff. So I go to sign up, and then I realize that it's literally a half an hour from my house. I was like, holy crap, like, it's just kind of funny that you take someone from Europe who knows about the shop and tells you who you live near it, that it actually exists. So that was actually really quite funny introduction there. But so yeah, it's a great shop. They do some Discord things. I think they're transitioning back into pay-per-play now that things are opening up a little bit. The future of those online armory things is not very clear. I know they're going to start doing Friday in-person play, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's a self-proclaimed Japanese culture and geeky store shop thing, and that's what they do. They have a whole bunch of different stuff. So we pop on over to their shop thing. So you got everything from Magic, Flesh and Blood, Pokemon, D&D stuff, Warhammer stuff, Gundam stuff. I'm not really sure if there was a game with Gundam, but whole loads of different stuff, and they are board games as well, supplies, paints, all that kind of stuff. They have a very large variety of stuff like that. They can ship to your store or ship to your door, or you can shop online, pick up in store, or just go in person now that they're opened again. So there's a really great variety of different things on there. So they have a pretty good Flesh and Blood stuff as well. You can get a first edition sealed booster box for $350 right now, which actually isn't that bad. The unlimited are $96. You can get things like that. They also have like pre-built blitz decks, which is really cool. A lot of shops are doing that now to try to get people into a cheap way of playing the game for fun. Yeah, so they kind of have a whole bunch of different stuff available there. But yeah, they have a really great community. So again, those online Discords, online Discord Blitz Armory events were really quite cool, and they have a pretty active community. It's not huge, but like a lot of them are local people. A lot of them are sort of like just coming in from afar for those Armory events. But there's always someone chatting in their Discord, asking questions, teaching new people how to play, or showing off painted models for their Warhammer, that kind of stuff. So it's a really cool community in that regard. If you are local, they do have a Blitz coming up to 26. I don't know if there's any spots left. There's a Blitz skirmish event, so that's this coming Saturday, the 26th of June. So try to jump into that if it's not already sold out. And I want to say shout out to Murdoch and Cairo, the two people who are running the Discord tournaments and that kind of stuff. They're great people. They made it really went really smooth and really nice. So definitely shout out to them. So as we said, not really sure about the 100% if they're going to have those armory events online through Discord anymore, but they're going to transition to pay-per-play. So if you're in the area, check out their Facebook pages where you'll be able to go to find all the events, things like that. I think they're constantly updating. They have stuff on here so you can easily find and then launch into registration, that kind of stuff. Have an Instagram, have a Twitter, have a whole bunch of stuff. Check out the Discord. All those links for everything we talked about right down below in the description of this video. So lots of stuff, and a great place to go. So that is one of the two shops. The other one is in Hamden, Connecticut. That is Unison Games Cafe. So that's this other place. They are currently in the process of rebuilding after they've moved to a new place. You can see they're moving. So they're actually literally right off the highway, the Merritt Parkway, and like it's boom, you're right there. It's like literally like 20 seconds off the highway. So it's super easy to get to, super in and out if you wanted to just drop by and grab something, whatever. They were in I think it was still Hamden. They moved to a better location in Hamden. The last time I was down there, they had a skirmish event, first edition Monarch Sealed, which was really awesome. They had people coming in from all over the place, and that's kind of one cool thing about this place is that the community is very far-reaching. So I know that skirmish events in general, especially with first edition product, people are going to just go as much as they can because you can pull, if your trip costs like $100 with registration, gas, food, whatever to get there, you can pull a money card and pay for that all. But ultimately, it's not only that skirmish event that had a bunch of people from out of state. And there was people from New Jersey, Rhode Island, New York, even New Hampshire. People like drove that long just to do this. But they're not only coming in for those events. They're part of their somewhat regular play before they moved anyways, that were out-of-staters. Like, I met someone on Discord who would like gone there regularly, and I didn't know that, and he was from New York, and he just travels, like, takes him an hour and a half to get there, but he kind of goes on a regular basis. So they're really, really big community there. So definitely shout out to that. That's really quite awesome. Before we go any deeper, what do they sell? Well, they sell Flesh and Blood, they sell Pokemon, they sell MTGs. Those are their major singles, which you can go ahead and shop for right now on their website. I'm not entirely sure how fast the shipping will be. Normally it's they receive a packet, they ship it the next day, next business day if they can. I don't exactly know if that's going on right now. They're moving and construction and kind of that stuff, but they also have a bunch of board games. Doesn't look like you can order those online at this point, but the new space is really quite cool too. When we were there for the skirmish event, they had just started, almost finished painting, but most of the demo and construction was done on the back part, which is all the gaming tables and like some of the like places where you could see all the products were all up, and you're just sort of doing a lot of work on the front end, which is the cafe of it. So that is the other part that's really cool, is that they are a cafe. So it's meant to be like a place where you can just go, game, eat, drink, do whatever you want. All you need is there, sort of thing. They also have a whole bunch of supplies too if you want anything for the games you play or other supplies in general. They're just really friendly. So during that skirmish event, they just bought a whole bunch of donuts. So like when you get there, there's just like 5 large boxes of these local donut shops donuts just sitting there for anyone to eat. So that was really cool. Really friendly people. They're also priced like that. Their ethos is all about getting games into people's hands and having people play, and that's kind of their thing. Like they're definitely trying to set themselves apart as that big box store, or not as the big box store, because they're really priced to help the people play the games. Like you could pre-order first edition Monarch, and like a whole bunch of places pre-ordered first edition Monarch for a fairly $95, right? A lot of people did that, and then when the other big stores were seeing these prices just starting to rise, everyone started bumping things up. Miniature Market, Channel Fireball, it was total garbage. People got orders canceled, all that kind of stuff, repriced higher, all that. It was just horrible stuff. Unison had people locked in for pre-orders, and then they actually ended up getting more than they had pre-ordered. And how much were they selling it for? Like, oh, cool, you walk in, you can buy a box for $95, first edition Monarch. So they kept the prices there. I don't know anything about Pokemon prices, but I know that they just did a video on their Facebook page or on YouTube that was talking about like very, very MSRP selling Pokemon things that are apparently really hard to find or whatever, or very expensive because there's some chase cards in it or whatever. So they're very about making good prices and keeping those good prices so people can actually play and have fun with the games. That's their whole sort of ethos. So yeah, we talked about them having singles. The community is really vast. They also, so like, with Paper Play opening up, with the shop being fully, rebuilt and ready to go, they are going to start, transitioning to in Paper Play with Connecticut opening up as well. But they also wanted to make sure that all these people that they had, they had garnered, whether through at their old location or over time, that maybe are from Rhode Island or Massachusetts, New York, whatever, that are harder to travel. They will still do some monthly, or they're not really sure about the cadence yet, but online stuff too. So to try to include that community that maybe can't make it on a regular basis because it's a long drive, they'll still sort of have that community thing there. One cool thing also, they're going to be trying to do some live stream stuff. So they have this their top table for tournaments is also like this nice, like acoustically happily set up, light set up thing where they're going to stream like if they're doing a tournament, they can stream the top tables just to see whether that's in like literally so you can watch in the shop and not in this little teeny room where you're like squished in with other people. But also you can watch it online if you're like, cool, this is like a neat local scene. Like, oh, I couldn't make it to the shop, but I can watch them actually play the tournament that I was hoping to be in, something like that. So that's really cool. They also might have it like for like esports stuff, like if they're playing Super Smash stuff. I think they're talking about that, having that as like a little stream thing. And also for like weird, rare product openings. So like if you have like a Welcome to Wraith first edition box, like maybe they'll just start streaming that so you can like watch a pack opening of that. I know people are big on pack openings. Some people hate them, some people like them, whatever. But they're really trying to go for the whole experience and integrate, their extended community and their close community and keep prices cheap and have a nice place where you can sort of hang out, eat something, drink something, that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's those are the two shops in Connecticut that, at least that I know about, that are great communities, great places to play, good prices and fun, friendly people. As far as Unison games reopening, they're not necessarily open yet. You can still go and buy stuff, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know the details because they're kind of like open for stuff, but they're not open for stuff, and their front of the building is still under construction, all that kind of stuff. But keep an eye on their website or the Facebook page for when they'll actually fully open up. But I'm sure it'll be soon. And again, if you're looking for any information, then they have their website, their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram, their YouTube, everything down below in the links. Check them out. You won't be upset. I should probably pop over their Facebook page. Again, their Facebook page has a whole bunch of stuff. They don't have anything up yet about events just because there isn't really anything going on just yet. I think they don't have anything scheduled. Yeah, so they're waiting for things to really finish up, wrap up at their site. So that's where they're going for there. But that'll be it for today's video. Again, this was just to try to show you about the local scene in Connecticut, where you can play in paper, where you might be able to play through webcam, that sort of stuff. The friendly people that are there, the good prices. Again, shout out to Jordan from Flesh and Bones for giving me the idea. Maybe I'll do an in-person tour of one of these stores at some point, but I think this is the kind of information that you want if you're looking for a local play group, local scene. And everyone's really friendly there. Like, there's always going to be people who are just like creeping at the edges that are just sort of in there to play one or two matches. And like, admittedly, I'm that guy a lot of the time because maybe for other shops, for other games, like, you don't go often or you only go for the pre-releases. And that's, the things getting busier. That's generally what you do. And then with COVID happening, no one went for pre-releases. But yeah, so there's definitely a great couple places to play in Connecticut. So that is really all we had for the video today. So hopefully we'll be back to our regularly scheduled content of actual either deck techs or playing stuff. Hoping to play the pre-con decks with some other content creators, trying to align that now that people have all their products, and it's just really aligning schedules that's a little bit difficult now. But that'll be all for Brew Tap Cast today and our little Connecticut local scene of Flesh and Blood. So thank you all so much for watching, and cheers.